Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming to join us on this Tuesday evening for Align Partners Talk Series, Wealth Talk Series. Today, we are so lucky and we are having the industry expert to join with us to see this the tax checkup and strategies. First of all, it's our usual disclaimer. And the information we share here today is for education purpose. And all the information is just for your benefit of knowledge. And we're not giving out tax advice or legal advice. And if you are seeking legal or tax advice, you need to seek out help from the professional tax experts and also legal professionals for further guidance. And today we are in treat for having Martin Wachtel here with us. And he is a tax optimization specialist with 10 years of industry experience and is also a senior advisor and a licensed broker. And he's also a partner at GMG Savings and Recovery. Welcome, Martin, to join us.
Thank you, Susan. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And then after Martin's share, and I will be sharing a little bit about our Align Partners mission and also what we do and also how can we help you. First of all, and what do we do? Why are we here? Align Partners is a group of licensed professionals, and our goal is to provide 360 degrees of solutions for families and businesses. As you can see from my screen, on the left side, we have family financial solutions. And on the right side, we have business financial solutions. So I want you to focus today at first on the business side. Let's look at it. Executive bonus and talent retention. We can help you with that, and we can draft plans for you. And asset liability protection, we are in this business and we can help you to analyze your situation and provide solutions for you. 401k investment setup. Yeah, we do that as well. And we have a pipeline of products and can help you and your business. Tax optimization. That's one of the expertise we have and have experts such as Martin and who can help us with. And also another one is a cost segregation analysis. Over here, a lot of people will pause. What is that? We've never heard of it. Okay, you're at the right place today. Martin is going to tell you in and out about this segment and what is cost segregation analysis and how he utilized the industrial tools to help business to save money. And of course, we do personalized, customized employee financial strategy for each of our business clients as well. So I will let Martin to take over from here, and he will tell you more about those the benefits and also the purpose and also the details about the cost segregation analysis and how can it help business to thrive in this critical time. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We are so fortunate and thankful to have you here, to try to shed some light on some things that are confusing to most. So we're going to just jump right into it. This is the app. My company, GMG Savings and Recovery, created this app back in 2004. It's groundbreaking software that really can help realize what people might be missing in specialized tax incentives, cost reduction programs, because this app has the power to actually research databases federally, state, and locally. So not to say that your CPA doesn't know what they're doing by any means. Thank God for CPAs. They're highly intelligent people. We would be lost without them. But we work hand in hand with those CPAs with tax strategies and cost segregation assessments such as this. We are a non-disruptive company in the sense that we like to work together with any of your or any business current vendors. At the very least, we'd like to enhance their business, but we believe that in prosperity and there's plenty to go around for everyone. So let's share. So that's what we do. Everybody is always can keep whatever vendor they have in place. We have no desire to take anyone's place. We just want to help everyone grow. So moving forward, this is the software. I've already kind of preloaded this, as you can tell. This is a fictional restaurant. And the reason why is that, you know, I don't want to put anybody's information in there because of, you know, obviously liability issues. But these numbers will be very, very similar to an actual business. Now, it could be any industry. I chose the restaurant industry, because most of the categories within the cost segregation assessment restaurants really qualify for almost every single one of them, because they have all of the items in there that they need. So that's why I'm showing you restaurants, so you can see a little bit of everything. So moving right along. Okay, we're doing a test run. Now, let me say something else. When it comes to the cost segregation assessments and protocol and whatnot, we believe that first off, all assessments are free. First and foremost, they're free. It's a free look for anyone to find out what is eligible, what they could potentially be eligible for within their state or federal programs. Also, all of our fees are contingent upon us actually retrieving these said savings and credits and specialized tax incentives. So if we can't find anything, we don't capture anything, you don't pay a dime. Moving forward. So here we go. This is basically this simple. I put in the information into the software itself, and industry, of course, all the details, address, whatnot, and then I just start asking you questions. It's really that simple, and it really only takes about 15 minutes, especially if the business owner knows their information, has their information in front of them, or has the person who typically handles their numbers and that sort of thing, whether it be a controller, accountant, whatever it may be. So do you own any commercial property? Well, most businesses do. You don't have to own commercial property to be eligible for some of these tax incentives and whatnot. But it helps, because obviously a lot more, you get a lot more tax incentives when it comes to that, from property tax mitigation and also accelerated depreciation, things like that. So we're going to say that you do own commercial property, and this is just like I said before. This is going to be a basic kind of mock-up of what a business expenses would be. And we're going to start with $1 million on their construction or purchase cost. So $1 million for total construction and or purchase cost. We also include the renovation costs in that as well. And we're going to throw a number out there and say the renovation was $300,000 to make it your own, of course. Moving forward, property tax, of course. As we all know, property taxes are probably the second largest actual, besides, of course, individual tax that any commercial business owner would pay throughout the life of that property. It's very expensive, as we all know, and it's something that we like to help mitigate, to make sure that most business owners are not overpaying in property taxes, which they typically are, sometimes 10 to 20% every single year. What we do, if we do find that you are overpaying property taxes, we get involved, we evaluate your property, we make sure that what's being assessed is actually accurate with an actual valuation. And then we also not only get together your file with your CPA as we work hand in hand, but we also make sure that not only that you didn't overpay already and try to retrieve some of that overpayment back, but also make sure that you're not overpaying in the future. So we'll say that they have a pretty hot spot. I'm in Dallas, so property taxes are probably a little bit less than they are in California or wherever you guys may be from. But we'll say they have a pretty hot spot, and they're spending about $50,000 a year in property taxes. This is also real and property taxes, which, you know, I'm sure I probably don't have to explain this to most of you guys since y'all are business owners and obviously very highly intelligent. So this also includes actual property that's physically on the ground, bolted to the ground for that. So for example, it could be like a body shop that has a paint machine in it, where it has an actual where they have to actually take the vehicle in, things that aren't removable. But it also does include equipment as well, from whether it be nailed down or part that goes with that actual facility and or land. Like we do a lot of golf courses as well. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of equipment that goes with that. This includes all of those properties and that you're paying property taxes on. New employees, well, if you're a restaurant, as we all know, there's a lot of turnover. I was with Outback Steakhouse for 10 years, way back when I was much younger. And yes, its turnover is massive, as everybody knows. It's difficult in any business, let alone restaurants. But I would say that probably on average is somewhere around 30 to 40 employees per year. Now, this also includes that it doesn't tell you this, but within the app itself, it also is including workers' opportunity tax credit, which is typically in the past has been a tedious tax credit for CPAs to do, and they need more manpower to actually not only research it, but make sure they're getting all the qualified information to do so from that employer. But we have really kind of changed all that and made everything much more easily accessible through our software. This also includes COVID retention tax credit that a lot of people don't really know about yet, because all the talk has been the PPP loan. Well, the COVID employee retention tax credit, in my opinion, is much better than the PPP loan because it's a payroll tax credit. It is not a loan whether you have to worry about it actually being forgiven or not. Last year, the COVID retention tax credit was actually $5,000 per employee, and you had to have 50% reduction in gross receipts. This year, it's $7,000 per quarter, so it's $28,000 per employee that's eligible, of course, and 20% reduction in gross receipts from 50 to 20. So obviously, there are still a lot of businesses out there, unfortunately, that are still being affected by COVID, and hopefully will end in the very near future, because I know we're all sick of it. So anyway, there's more benefits in this within just than what you just see. So I wanted to give you some detail there. So moving on, do you take credit cards? Of course, restaurants do. Now, what we do with credit cards is very similar to the property tax mitigation. It's an audit. So we do a full-on audit of it to make sure that there hasn't been any overcharges in the past, some kind of mistakes made. So we go through all of the accounts and the files to make sure that someone hasn't overcharged you or overbilled you, whatever it may be. We make sure that not only do you get those overpayments or overbilling fees back, but we also make sure that you don't overpay in the future by negotiating to a lower rate. So we're going to say this restaurant does about $3 million a year, which is around $265 or so per month, which isn't a busy restaurant, but it's not a slow restaurant either. So kind of middle of the road there. And moving on. Waste recycling, over $300 per month. Typically, if you have, some restaurants have, not only do they have just your regular waste recycling that we all have, trash and whatnot, and recycling trash, but restaurants also have grease traps. So because they fry a lot of things and whatnot, they have an actual company that comes out, empties their grease, and they refilter it and sell it, or whatever they do with it afterwards. I don't remember exactly, but that's the third thing that it's not on here. But there's also medical waste that people pay a monthly fee for that as well. But typically, these numbers, people aren't getting overpaid or aren't overpaying this as much as you may think. But we're going to act like they are in this case, and say that it's $500 a month for all 4 of the items. Work comp premium over $40K, which is a lot, but if you have a lot of employees, it's certainly possible. So we're going to say that the work comp, which is workers' compensation insurance, as everyone probably already knows and probably don't really like paying for it, but unfortunately it's a necessity. Are they self-insured? No, they do not pay their own claims. So I'm going to say that they are not. And we will move forward. Okay. Now, that's a cost segregation for me to send an email to find out who is responsible for. I didn't mean to pass it up so fast. I'm sorry. This is the tax credit, so as to find, this is what we do. One of the many things we do when we go to the next stages is called a discovery call. So the discovery call really is myself on the phone with the business owner, their CPA, a tax attorney from our home office, and a team leader that's involved in the call as well. And what we do at that point is talk about next steps, talk about who do we contact for said documents that we're looking for, whether it be for property taxes or merchant services, whatever it may be, just to make sure that we are contacting the right people, because the app itself is kind of perpetual in the sense that it starts to work for you and send emails to actually gather the documentation for these files that we need to obviously retrieve the tax credits. And finally, we'll get to, well, the last page, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip that, but the last page is just a discovery call calendar. So it's not really necessary to see that. This is what's most important right here. So as you can see, the final benefit that this restaurant's able to have found is $172,140 has been identified. Now, as I said, next steps from here is really getting it on the phone with our home office and, of course, the business owner, CPA, and we discuss next steps and protocol. And then we, of course, also sign documentation for authorization for us to move forward on their behalf. And the rest is pretty simple. It's just gathering documentation and then filing with the IRS through your CPA at that point when it comes to that, of course. Okay, and that's really, in a sense, that's pretty much it. We also do other services as well, like exit strategy and planning, business brokering. We do commercial lending also, employee insurance for like key employee insurance, that sort of thing. So we do have other items and services as well that we help small and medium-sized business with. Okay, that is it for my presentation, Susan. And of course, let me finish up by saying, again, these are free assessments. Like I said, this is very quick. As you can see, it doesn't take much time to find out what you would actually qualify for, what you have the potential benefit could be. And they are all fee-free unless we obviously find credits and savings that we can actually retrieve for you. So there's no liability in a sense.